when you think about kind of like repeated international appearances and just domestic titles, Seiya has to be the first on your list. He is technically the most decorated domestic player of all time in League of Legends. He has only lost like a single tournament a single domestic tournament that he has participated in. And he's not known for being like hyper flashy in lane or like hard flexing on kids, but he is known for being a great in-game leader and a superior shot caller. He works with his longtime jungler Audi, and Isurus Gaming with Seiya kind of at the core of it are this LATAM super team, and it's Seiya who will really lead them to success and hopefully make it to the main stage at Worlds.
A moment or two. I cannot get through a play-in show without asking Vedius about a Japanese player. So let's talk about one of the icons in your eyes.
It's Saros. We have to talk about him. It is the Heimerdinger and the Ziggs main. I've been hearing a lot about Zillion as well. I'm yet to really see it on the international stage, but this guy has been one of the key figures when it comes to Japanese League of Legends. And last year, it was such a big moment for the LJL when they were able to make it out of the play-ins group stages and go into the knockouts. And it was so unfortunate that they drew EDG, but there was so much support and excitement around this team of what they were capable of. And you can see the slow and steady growth that this team and these players are making. And Saros has been the consistent mainstay of this roster. And I personally am always excited to see the Ziggs Heimer main back on the international
I am going to make
stage.
you, I want to hear your bold calls for how this team's going to do once we see their group, okay?
Well, champs.
You are always... The next one I'm actually going to jump on as well. The next representative from Europe, it is Splice.
Slow and steady, Splice finally returned to the international stage after 3 years, helmed by star marksman Kobe. The odd one out from the other European representatives, Splice are bringing a bunch of fresh faces to the international stage, including rising star Humanoid, EU mids man. Also a huge congrats to Vizichachi, who was finally qualified after his debut in 2014.
And it is Isurus Gaming.
The super team of LATAM, Isurus Gaming, are built around legendary mid laner and the most decorated domestic player, Seiya. With his partner in crime of 4 years, Audi, this team revolves around mid-jungle pressure to beat you on the map. This iteration of the roster might be Seiya's best chance to finally make it to the group stage, and the one that LATAM have been waiting for.
Yamato, the next team, please. Detonation Focus Me.
Representing the LJL for the 6th time internationally, Detonation Focus Me are a familiar face to many. Having formed in 2013, they quickly became the driving force in Japanese League and are 8-time LJL champions. Although a Japanese team has never made it to the main stage of an international competition, they narrowly missed out on the knockout stages at MSI as their 4-2 scoreline in groups was narrowly too short. With an unchanged team from MSI built around veterans like Yudafon and Evi, a lot of people will be thinking this is the best chance that the LJL has ever had.
Too much time left, but I am going to ask Vedia, Splice versus Detonation Focus Me, buddy.
Oh, no.
Let's go in there. It is one of my favorite memes of every draw show, but quite seriously, Isurus Gaming also inside the group. What's your take on Splice's chances? You have to feel, obviously, they are favored, but I want to know by how much.
So, I believe I've been talking a lot with Frosk, and stylistically, there's a chance that Isurus actually have an opportunity to create some chaos, create some opportunities. They are, of course, playing with Seiya and Audi. And with War Angelus in the bot lane, there is a real world in which they can, like, I remember Seiya and Audi being this hyper-aggressive duo that can build advantages through the 2v2 mids. And it comes down to a very big matchup between how the junglers control each other and how they deal with each other. I still think Splice should just be considered favorites because of their experience and talent. I can see you're enthusiastic, Frost. But before we get to that, he asked me a question about Detonation Focus Me, so I got to talk about my favorite region, Japan. So Detonation Focus Me. On the realistic side, they are still slow. They are still the same old team, which is very much that they want to wait for team fights and they're not super proactive in the early game, and that's just how the rest of the region plays. So it's difficult to say that they should be considered favorites in this group, but who would I be if I didn't just have blind faith in Japan and say that this was probably the easiest group that they could get out on top of?
What a weep. Moving on to Frosk.
I'm a huge Isurus Gaming fan. I actually think they're a really smart team. Usually when you're watching a lot of emerging regions, one of the issues is like fundamentals. Like, do they have a strong basis for fundamentals, or are they relying on just like stronger, superior mechanical players and individual performances? I think ISG are actually a really good like macro team and how they read the map, do rotations, but they don't attack you in the lane phase, which is why I'm super interested to see how they deal with Splice. Unless Xerxes just absolutely destroys Adi, as you were talking about, I actually think there could be some really cool map trades and objective trades that people wouldn't really be used to seeing from an emerging region team. I think they're very, very smart. I'm hyped about this team.
I'm excited. Yamato, the next team, please. Detonation, focus me. Please draw one of them, Yamato. And it is Flamengo Esports.